Aloha everyone, and welcome to the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for August 12th, 2018. Before I get started, I want to ask a question to all y'all watching. Have you hit that subscribe button? No, you haven't. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, but if you want to, I'll wait. Go ahead. It's right down there. Yeah, scroll down just a little bit. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, just click it. That's all you got to do. Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at that. Great. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And, there's the bell icon. If you want to get notified when I post new videos, go ahead, click it now. You want me to wait? No? Yes? You haven't made up your mind? Okay, well, take your time. No rush. While you think about it, here's the USGS report. The USGS reports for Sunday, August 12th, 2018 at 12:05 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. The lull in eruptive activity on the lower East Rift Zone continues. A gas plume billows from Fissure 8, but the only red lava visible on the flow field is that oozing into the ocean between the Kapoho Bay and Ahalanui area coastlines. Fresh black sand created as molten lava is chilled and shattered by the surf, is being transported to the southwest by longshore currents and accumulating in the Pohuiki Small Boat Harbor, located in Isaac Holly Park. It is common for eruptions to go through periods of diminished output, or to pause completely, only to return with renewed vigor days or weeks later. Resumption of the activity on the lower East Rift Zone could occur at any time, and residents should remain informed and heed Hawaii County Civil Defense messages and warnings. SO2 emissions from the summit, Pu'u'o'o, and the lower East Rift Zone are at all-time lows. Lower East Rift Zone emissions on August 5th through 6th were greater than or less than 200 tons per day. Pu'u'o'o emissions on August 6th through 7th were 200 to 300 tons per day, and summit emissions, when last measured on July 19th, were around 100 tons per day. This SO2 release represents the lowest SO2 emitted from Kilauea for over a decade. Up on the Kilauea Volcano summit seismicity continues to be low, with only 1 to 2 locatable earthquakes occurring per hour. Maximum magnitude of 2.2. Summit deflation is negligible. HVO will continue to monitor Kilauea very closely for any signs of change in activity. The next status report will be issued tomorrow morning unless significant changes occur. And once again, any mention of Highway 1 or the cracks on Highway 130 just south of Leilani Estates has been omitted from the official report. So once again, I will logically assume that there has been no changes in crack width, temperature, or gas emissions. And that'll do it for the USGS report in tonight's update. So have you decided whether you're going to hit the bell icon yet? No? Still thinking about it? Okay, well, you do that, and I'll do the Doing Hawaii earthquake update. In tonight's update, I'm going to show you this map here, and I'm going to explain just real quick a few of the details so you understand what you're looking at. First, the little orange dots represent the earthquakes that have occurred in the last 24 hours, because I do have the filter set for all magnitudes one day. However, it doesn't represent all of the earthquakes that the Big Island has experienced in the one day. It's just the ones located in the borders of the map view itself. I did this because this is the area of quakes that here in Leilani Estates, with dealing with the Fissure 8 and all this is more important. The ones happening at the summit are happening, what little bit they do right now. So the only two quakes worth speaking about, in my opinion at this point, are the two closest to Leilani Estates, which are these two here. The first one right here on the coastline, it was a magnitude 2.5. It was located 6 kilometers southeast of Leilani Estates, and it happened at 11:55 p.m. on August 11th, 2018. The second one, which is located over on Highway 130 area heading towards Kalapana, was a magnitude 1.8, and it was located 9 kilometers south-southwest of Leilani Estates and occurred at 3:23 today, August 12th. So currently, in my opinion, I don't see any significant sign of any magma movement down the current lower east rift zone. However, in tonight's look at that there, we're going to be coming back to the earthquake maps because there is something that I want you to look at that there at. And that'll do it for the general earthquake update. And as for the EPA air monitoring sensor report, we're going to pretty much skip that because currently all sensors are reporting 0 parts per million for SO2 and 0 parts per million for H2S, with the exception, of course, of the sensor located at the Pahoa High School, which seems to always have a small SO2 reading for whatever reason. And that'll do it for the general update for tonight. Moving on, got a quick question for you. Have you enjoyed the video? If you have, hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it, and it does help me out a lot. Lets me know I'm doing a good job and you're enjoying the content. Okay, so as y'all all should know by now, it's time for our favorite little segment. Look at that there. The first image we're going to take a look at tonight, of course, is this one right here. This is, of course, Pohoiki. This is the Isaac Hale Park and the Pohoiki boat ramp. And what we want to look at, of course, is right there, that beautiful black sand beach that's coming across the boat ramp lagoon. Well, actually, it's created more of a lagoon. It was an inlet before. Now, I guess this qualifies it as a lagoon, maybe. Not real sure, but yeah, nonetheless. It has obviously cut off access to the ramp itself. I don't believe that it would be capable of getting any significant vessel or any vessel of any significant size that normally comes in and out of there through that little gap. From the look of the water flowing there, it looks a little shallow, but it's not. It's amazing to see nonetheless. You know, now a good question is how was this made? You know, and basically it's caused by the ocean entry when the hot lava and the rock, lava rocks hit the cold water. They break and shatter and turn to smaller pieces, and then with the wave action, they get bashed up into smaller pieces, and then there's apparently, according to USGS, there's a current. I think they said it was a longshore current or whatever, and it's taken all that black sand that's been produced at the ocean entry and has moved it down here where it has settled. And if you've been watching other videos and images I've shown, I've mentioned it a few times, when it was further north, just at the edge of the lava flow, and now it's moved all the way down here. It's just spectacular. This next image, we're going to re-examine it. We already looked at it in these two holes. I was asked, were they lava tubes, and I agreed that they could be lava tubes. However, I read in the comments somewhere else someone saying no, that it's shadows caused by boulders. So we're going to take a closer look and see if we can determine either way real quick. Okay, let's zoom in and take a look at a couple features here. I don't think it's a shadow. I do believe it's a lava tube. If you look above what looks like the hole, you see really heavy, thick, layered rock. And if you look at the one here on the right, you see the same thing above it. Now you say, oh, well, that's the rocks causing the shadow. However, you don't see that same layer of rock in between them or beside them. So for now, I'm going to stick with my original opinion, and that these are lava tubes. And I think the reason why it looks like a shadow is because I believe they may be actually traveling, well, from our perspective, they're traveling up, towards the surface. So we're seeing the bottom of the tube coming up, at a 45-degree angle or somewhere around that, so it looks like that. But yeah, I still say lava tubes. And the last thing we're going to take a look at real quick is the earthquake maps again. I got a few other maps I'm going to show you in succession here. I want to point out something that I noticed when looking at the earthquake maps for the last 30 days. What I noticed, if we look through these progressions right here, and this is going from 1 day all magnitude to 7 days all magnitude, and then to 30 days magnitude 2.5 plus. Okay, quick disclaimer, everything I'm about to say next is basically just my opinion and my amateur observations. So what I'm noticing here is, if you look right here, I'll zoom in a little bit, there is a line of earthquakes basically coming down from the summit location and traveling what looks like southeast of the rift zone, or not the rift zone, but the fissure line, where the magma perhaps, was traveling, down the summit towards Leilani and into the fissure system there. That line is northwest of this line of earthquakes that we see over the last 30 days. And what caught my attention was that we saw the same similar pattern when magma began to infuse into the lower East Rift Zone, down through Leilani and done what it's done. We saw the earthquakes clustering and moving down that line. Now, I don't really see necessarily clustering here because I haven't been watching it real time. And as you see through the progressions, they're kind of just popping up, all over it. But they are popping on that line. So that means that there's some form of movement there. Now, whether it's deflation or inflation or slumping, I don't know. But it's possible, I believe, that the reason why the flow has stopped at Fissure 8 could be that the magma found a different path, and through maybe some old lava tubes or something down there, because these quakes are pretty much coming down through the park and then back up the coastline a little bit. So it's possible that if the magma has found a different path and is applying pressure down there, if we do see a breakout, the good news would be that it would most likely be contained inside the park boundaries. So anyways, like I said, it's just my opinion. It's an observation. It's a pattern I just picked up on tonight, and I thought I would share my observations with you. And what do y'all think? Of course, is always the question. So anyways, that pretty much does it for the look at that there segment. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Lets me know that you did, of course. And before I bring this video to a close, I also want to give a shout out to another YouTube channel, and that is VolcanoYT. I'll put a link to their channel in the description. I want to, let everybody know it's a great channel. I recently discovered it thanks to some viewers of mine, and I appreciate that, guys. Good stuff there. So I encourage y'all to go check them out. They basically monitor the volcanoes all around the world and earthquakes, and it's kind of all in real time. So go check them out. Okay, guys, that pretty much does it for tonight's update. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. I've posted some content there that only my patrons get to see. And so if you're interested, go take a look. Don't forget about my Redbubble and SmugMug accounts and all that other wonderful stuff. All that's in the description as well. And y'all have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. This has been the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for August 12th, 2018.